Hey boos, hey, it is your girl, the Rising Phoenix Empath, coming at you from Maryland. And I want to jump on real quick today. And I wanted to do a quick video today on my birthday. That's right, guys. Today is my birthday. 8 August 8th, the day of the Lion's Gate Awakening, is the day I was born. That means something. That means something. That means something. Chosen ones, RPE tribe. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad to be celebrating another year with the RPE tribe, with the chosen ones. I love you guys so much, and I really appreciate your viewership and support. And today's video, okay, today's topic is going to be 10 indications of a Judas spirit within your camp. And I say within your camp because a Judas spirit can only be a Judas spirit to someone it knows very intimately, right? Um, Judas Iscariot was a disciple of Jesus. He was one of the 12. So they had a very intimate relationship, and he was in Yeshua's personal space, sacred space, and private space, and that is how he was able to covet, and that is how he was able to betray Jesus, because see, betrayal can only come from inside. Betrayal can only come from people that we hold near and dear to our hearts, right? People that we have trusted with our lives, people that we've trusted with our secrets, people that we have trusted within our space, okay? And I'm going to give you 10 indications of a Judas spirit within your camp, okay? Number one is the way you catch them looking at you. That's right. Y'all seen it. Y'all have seen it. But because at the time you may not have been in tune to your giftings, you might not have even trusted your giftings, your intuition, and your all knowing, all seeing. You just know and you just see and you have a feeling, but you dismissed it as, oh, I'm just feeling it. Oh, I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming. No, you know that look. You know that look of hatred coupled with resentment. You know when that look when they don't think you're even looking at you're even seeing what they're doing, and you catch them looking at you with such hate, with such a hatred, that in the moment you even know this ain't right, something ain't right, but you ignore it. And I'm here to tell you that when you see somebody looking at you and they don't know that you see them looking at you, and I need you to pay attention to that. I need you not to ignore that red flag. One person who was excellent at being able to gauge if somebody really liked you by how they looked at you was my mother. And my mother has never been wrong. My mother, on at least two occasions, has had to pull me to the side and say, hey, I know that you like this girl, but I'm telling you, I'm your mom, and I can tell you the way she looks at you, she doesn't like you. And of course, right away, I was still a kid, really. In one of the instances, I was still a child. And so I didn't listen. Lo and behold, this person had a hand in my very first betrayal. Had a hand in my very first betrayal of love. And, you know, it is important for us not to ignore the small yet telling things when we really know that people don't like you. But they put themselves in your space because, one, they know that you're a good person, right? They like your energy, and they like the benefits of being your friend. They know they have an ear. They know they'll get sound advice. They know they'll get help if they need it. They like all the benefits that come with being your friend without really even liking you. Okay? So when you see somebody looking at you with a resentment and a hatred, I need you to understand that that's exactly what it is. Number two, When you tell them of your good news, and not only do they give a half-ass, fake-ass response of happiness, but they even get agitated and angry afterwards, right? And that's even if they can even fake the happiness at all. Because quite honestly, I've seen some half-ass, fake-ass responses to my good news. To good news. And some crazy questions in response to my good news. Like, who cares if I'm going to ever move again? Who can, no, I'm not going to, I mean, who cares? Like, why are you asking that? Like, why can't you be happy for your friend, for your family? I need you to pay attention to how people respond to your good news. And I need you, I'm going to challenge you, chosen ones, because some of this is our fault because we're so much like Joseph in a sense. When we know we're chosen and we're excited and we just want to shout it to the mountaintops, but you can't tell people your plans. You can't, because they resent you for having the gall at all to even believe, to even dare to believe that you can achieve some of the stuff that you set out to do. They resent your zeal. They resent uh, your bravery. They resent the fact that you think so highly of yourself that you could do these things at all. Who in the hell does she think she is or he is? Stop telling people your accomplishments and hoping to get a genuine response of happiness. Okay? Because not everybody's like that. No, not everybody's disingenuous, but I'm telling you, chosen ones, you, chosen ones, we attract Judas spirits. We attract broken people because of the healing energy that we exude. It's not, sometimes like does attract like, but when it comes to the chosen ones, sometimes healers attract brokenness. And that brokenness will come in the form of Judas spirits, of narcissistic people, and sociopathic people who will seek to copy you, mimic you, take tangible things from you, and when that all fails, they will seek to discredit and throw dirt on your name. So it is important that when we see certain things that may seem really small, how they reacted to your good news may initially seem really small. The fact that it put them in a bad mood for the rest of the day may seem really small to you, but it's a big deal. And by not ignoring red flags, you protect your life from future betrayal. So I need you to provide and to put space in between you and these people. These people have no business in the front row of your life. They have no business being in intimate spaces and places and knowing your secrets and knowing your relationship details and knowing your personal life and family dynamic. These people are not to be trusted, and I need you to listen to the very small things that speak volumes. Number 3, when we tell them something that we did, and the next time you speak to them, they did the very same thing. The only difference is they had no prior interest in the said thing. Meaning, they did something just because you did it. You told them you were just genuinely excited. Oh my God, that's what I did. And you know them. They had no prior interest in it. They never wanted to do it at all. But because you did this thing, they wanted to do this thing, and they did. And it's okay for friends to do something that their friends did, because we do that sometimes. I don't think anything's wrong with that. But if, be you, do what you like to do. Accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. For me, it's an issue when you mimic even the smallest accomplishments that I have that are personal to me and my personality, that you go out and that you mimic this thing, and this isn't even who you are or what you want to do, but you do it simply to compete and in attempt to outdo me. That's a Judas spirit. somebody who is taking on activities just because you're doing them, and they have no real interest in these things but to compete with you. That's your Judas spirit. Number 4, your goals become their goals, even with no prior interest. And let me give you an example of this. An example of this. I'm sorry. Oh, my water ain't melted. I'm thirsty. Wet my whistle. An example of this is, okay, I'm a writer. And everybody that knows me knows that I'm a writer, and I'm a very gifted, creative writer. I write stories. I write different genres of stories, and I have the ability not only to write, but to invoke emotion and to sway opinions and to sway people from one issue to another issue. And, you know, that's a gift. It's a gift that, one, I don't take lightly, and two, I understand that that's a gift that everybody doesn't have. Okay? And so, as a writer, I have certain goals. Okay, I'm off on a tangent. Number 4, your goals become their goals. As a writer, I have certain goals. There's certain bestsellers lists that I want to make, that I want my name to be on. There's certain literary awards that I want to have, right, in this field, right? Now, I made the mistake of telling somebody my goals and what lists I wanted to be on and what awards I wanted to receive in this industry. Now, mind you, this person had never published anything, is not a writer, had never expressed interest in writing previously, and quite frankly, is not a good writer. I'm just going to be honest with you. They're not a good writer, right? Everybody got a book in them, yeah. But that doesn't mean that everybody's a good writer. Let me let that marinate. Let me let it marinate. Right? Okay? So I say this to say that you've never worked in the industry, you've never published a book, you've never done any of these things, and yet your goals suddenly become to be on the same bestsellers list that I want to be a part of and to obtain the same literary awards that I want to get. And you're not a writer. Now, if this person was an author herself or was even a writer herself, I don't think anything would be wrong with her wanting to have these successes, as what writer does not want to be successful in their industry, right? What writer doesn't want to be on a bestsellers list? What writer doesn't want to receive literary awards? I think it's totally fine for writers to want these things, but for you to want these things simply because I made the mistake of voicing my goals to you, because I thought this was a safe place, and then for my goals to suddenly become yours, it's an indication of a Judas spirit. Number 5, they call you and they randomly ask you questions about your relationship. Now, of course, you talk about your relationship to your people, but to be honest, those conversations should be initiated by the person that feels comfortable to share. But to call somebody and just randomly ask questions about your relationship, the details about what you're doing and where you're coming from and where you've been and how your weekend was because they knew you flew out to see this person, I think something's wrong with that. And for me, it was an indication. I didn't even answer the phone. I had just got off the plane from seeing this person, and this person's ringing my phone. Mind you, it's 7 in the morning, and you want to ask me questions about how my trip was with my man, with my fiance? It's weird. It's giving weird, goofy. I love these new things. It's giving very much weird and goofy. Okay, and it's strange and really a form of gang stalking. It's kind of sick because in this situation, this person was connected to my then fiance, and you're calling me and you're asking me it's creepy. It's giving creep. It's giving me creepy. it's giving me creepy. And I hope that you're watching this, and I hope that you see this, and I hope that you know that I know what a creep you are. And I also want you to know, with my spiritual awakened self, that I have pardoned you. I pardoned you. Not so it's not that I didn't do anything about what you did, because I don't know what you did, but I have decided to pardon you. Don't make me take back that pardon. Okay? Okay. Number 6. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But I hope that person's watching. Because she's a stalker. Number 6. Number 6. When talking about your relationship, they randomly say things like nobody belongs to anybody, and they use spirituality to validate their creepy, gang stalking, Judas-like behavior, right? And it's true, because nobody owns anybody, and nobody, belongs to anybody. But the fact was, there was a time when this man was my fiance, right? And so when I expressed that, oh, he's my fiance, my triggered her to say nobody belongs to anybody. I guess to validate her behavior, right? But I want you to know that people who use spirituality, because it's a form of truth, but people who use spirituality to do dark deeds are equivalent to those who use Christianity to enslave a whole nation of people. You're using something good and something that the Creator intended for good for evil. And there's a special place for people like that. There will be judgment. There will be judgment. And I want you to know, when you have people in your life who say these triggering things to you, and who make you feel a certain way about your relationship, and make you feel like you're wrong, or like you are wrong for identifying this person as being your man, or your fiance, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend. These people, watch them. I call them spiritual fuck girls and spiritual fuck boys, because that's what they are. You use spirituality to be a Judas Iscariot, and that's what you are, right? Watch them. Number 7. They're deeply insecure. They compare yourselves to you, or they compliment you with their mouth, but you can tell that the qualities that they compliment about you are the very thing they resent about you. Again, chosen ones. You attract these people not because you're like, but because of your healing, because of your goodness, and the darkness will always be attracted to the light. This is why during the light's journey, during a chosen one's journey, during, an empath's journey, they will encounter so many evil, dark forces to try to get them off of their path, to keep them from their destinies. And it's because they might not even realize it, but they're operating from the darkness and from the evil one. And their goal and mission in life is to discourage you to the point of non-action. These people are deeply insecure. I've never met a Judas-like spirit totally secure with themselves. These people don't like themselves. They don't like anything about themselves. They don't like how they look. They don't like their lives. They don't like their jobs. They don't like anything about themselves. And so they acknowledge everything they love about you, but they hate those things too, because they want to be the very thing that you are. And so they'll give you these compliments, but there'll be a side eye attached to it. And an example of that like will be like, "You're a pretty girl. You're a pretty girl," or "Your hair always looks good. You always look good." Yeah, but they don't say the but it's always a but. It sounds like a but is coming after the compliment. And it's important that you don't take it personal because these people are so broken and so unhappy with themselves that you know they're projecting this energy onto you because they hate themselves. They don't hate you. They hate themselves and wish they could be at least like you. These people are severely insecure, and they lack the knowledge and the enlightenment that they have a path of their own. And that instead of being insecure about your calling and about your path and about your journey, that they're missing their own. They're very insecure people. Number 8 are they are very unhappy people to the point that you can see the unhappiness in their disposition. And this has nothing to do with you, but just projected onto you in their anger of why they aren't what they want to be. And it's up to each and every one of us individually to do the work. So we're not walking around this broken and this insecure and this unhappy in life. Because there's been a few moments where I've seen this person out and they didn't see me. And I just kind of observed them and I thought to myself, she's troubled. I literally thought something wrong with her. Like she's just so sad. She's very troubled. And the part of me that wants to help people and heal people, the part of me said, yeah, she is, but she's my friend and I'm going to just help her in any way I can. But chosen ones, we can't help people to the detriment of ourselves. And when we see certain things, it's important for us to create space and boundaries. Nothing wrong with creating space and boundaries. Nothing wrong with it. These people are unhappy people. I've never seen a Judas spirit, a Judas like spirit, be happy with their lives and happy with themselves. And the fact that they operate in such a treacherous way all through life, in some cases, they operate so treacherously in an attempt to avoid themselves. They try to become other people by coveting their boyfriends and girlfriends and houses and jobs and material possessions. And even when they receive these things, or even if they obtain these things, at the end of the day, they're still unsatisfied and unhappy because they have failed to deal with the root cause of the problem. The self-hate and the never being or feeling good enough, no matter how much you have or have obtained in life, no matter what accomplishments you've made, the discontentment you feel within is so deep, caused by a childhood trauma you won't even think about anymore. Hence, this is how you operate. Hence, you destroy all your friendships because you're a jealous hearted, hateful person. Hence, and the friendships that you do keep are people that are like you, who are selfish and who are jealous hearted and who really aren't diehard friends. Because, hey, if you can't go hard or go home for me, I don't want you to be my friend. You're not qualified to be my friend, because when you have a friend in me, when I'm going to ride with you, I'm going to go hard or I'm going to go home. And it's not a thing I wouldn't do for my friend, for my loved ones. It's not a thing I wouldn't do to ensure your success and happiness. And if I can't be met with that kind of energy, It's important for me to recognize that you don't have it in you to be this kind of person to me, and for me to just disconnect the friendship altogether and create boundaries and space. But they're insecure, number 7, and they're deeply unhappy, number 8. And even if they were to obtain everything that they're trying to covet from you, chosen ones, at the end of the day, they would still be deeply miserable. Because there is nothing that can quench that desire and need to be better, but to really be better. And they don't even have it in them to do the kind of work required to be better. Number 9, they keep you at bay. They keep you at bay as if you were the betrayer. They keep you at bay and they treat you like they don't trust you. And chosen ones, RPE tribe, they don't trust you. They don't trust you because they know all the dirt they've done behind your back. They know what they still doing behind your back. And so how can they trust you? How can they bring you into the fold all like that, knowing the treachery that they have bestowed upon you? They can't. And so they got to keep you at bay as a protective mechanism because they are afraid that you're going to give them the same energy they're giving you. Little do they know that it's not even in you to be that way. And so they will distrust you and they will create a narrative about you as if you are the one not to be trusted, when in reality it is them who have done everything that they could do to betray you, to betray your confidence, to ensure that you're not happy, to keep certain opportunities from you. They've done it all. You name it, they've done it. And they continue to rally people against you because they want to be you. And they create this false narrative about you while pretending not while pretending like they're not the Iscariot, the Judas Iscariot that they are. They keep you at bay, not because of your character or not because you've ever done anything that would deem yourself untrustworthy, because you've never. You've never. I'm sorry I had to jump up and get the dog. I thought he was going to run out. My son was going to open the door and he would run out the door anyway. These people, you know who you are integrity wise and character wise. And that's something that also gets under their skin. That you have, even in the midst of their betrayal, even in the midst of their treachery, you have been able to operate in such a way. I just simply remove myself and I let you play by yourself. I'm not going to wallow in the mud, as my dad would say. I don't wallow with pigs. I'm going to just remove myself and I'm going to continue to evolve. I'm going to continue to be the best person that I can be. That doesn't mean that I'm perfect. But I know that I'm a trustworthy person. Right? And the only way that somebody would treat a person of integrity with such distrust is if they are the ones who did the treachery to you. Whew. Okay. So yes, they keep you at bay and they treat you as if you are the one who is not worthy of trust. Like you have breached the trust, when in reality they can never trust you because of all of the atrocities committed against you unbeknownst to you. Okay? And number 10, I actually wrote something else down, but I don't want to say that one. I'm going to say something else. And this is a story time. Number 10 is when you create a vision and you bring people into your vision and the person dismantles your vision because they fell in love with the vision, but they just don't want the vision with you. And so they dismantle the vision from within and go over here and try to recreate the vision with a different group of people. And I've had that happen to me. I had a vision for something that I created, and I brought some women into the fold. And there were two creatives, me and another person, and we were all friends. And she was a creative as well. And, in creative spaces, creatives can tend to bump heads because everybody wants it their way. But as the visionary, and I was the visionary because it was my vision. I know what I saw and I know what God gave me. And I was simply just trying to bring to fruition the vision that I was given. Well, I guess it was too much bumping heads for this person, and they didn't want to be a part of it. They left that group, and then tried to start another group with another group of people. And come to find out, when they went to the other group with the vision, nobody wanted to do this with them. And in turn, this left me so discouraged because one, I thought I had a friend in this person. And when really realized that people are not your friend, people are only your friend. Um, Not everybody, but some people will only be your friend up until when they feel like they have achieved, um, when they've come into themselves. And they literally feel like they don't need you anymore, right? Or they've evolved past you. And it can happen. People can evolve past you. It's cool. But where I come from, and this is why they only say you get two real ones, right? One or two real ones in your life. Where I come from, if you're my friend, you my friend. Right? It doesn't matter what you've accomplished or what you haven't accomplished. If you my friend, if we gonna ride, baby, we gonna ride. And if I achieve a level of success, baby, and you have shown yourself worthy and proven yourself that you are my friend, you coming with me. There's nothing I wouldn't do to aid in your success and happiness. Right? And so TD Jakes actually did a sermon on this about the different kinds of relationships, right? And one of them, and I forgot what he said it was, but one of them was when somebody comes, when you share a vision with somebody and they leave you and go and try to recreate the exact same vision that you shared with them, they try to recreate it without you. That person not only is a Judas spirit, that person is not your friend. And so for me, it was a very hard lesson. I've had to have a few lessons like this. And as I go through my journey in life, I'm still going through these lessons, right? Because people don't like change. People don't like when you evolve. People like seeing the lower version of yourself. People like seeing the struggling version of you. People like seeing the version of you who can't go because you don't got the money. People like seeing the version of you who got to shop at certain stores because you can't afford designer bags. And nothing wrong with not being able to afford designer bags, but there's nothing wrong with having a designer bag if you can afford it either. And people will disconnect from you and say, oh, she changed. But aren't we supposed to? Aren't we supposed to evolve? Right? I'm off topic. I am. But I want you to know that these 10 things indicate a Judas spirit in your camp. And it's important right now, chosen ones, that we don't ignore the signs that tell, that are so telling. Right? Because like Jesus, these having a Judas in your camp can cause you your life. Like Shanquella Robinson. Having Judases in your camp can cause you your life. And it is time. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. Chosen ones, RPE tribe, I don't care. It's time to disconnect from people who don't like you, who admire you, but secretly don't like you. It's time to disconnect from people who don't give you the same energy you give them. Not being tick for tack and not wanting everything back 50-50 that you give. That's not what I'm saying, but because everybody's going to be in a different place, right? But do you give me what you can? Because I'm giving you my all, right? And my all might be a lot more than your all at the time. But as long as it's a reciprocal relationship, I can work with that. Because I know that, you did for me what you could in the moment. And I appreciate that, right? But it's really time for us to disconnect from people who don't have our best interest at heart, people who don't want to see us succeed, people who hate to hear about our accomplishments, people we can't even talk about our accomplishments in front of them because they get mad. It's time to disconnect. It's time to walk away. Chosen ones, we're coming to a head and we're living in very perilous times, and it's too dangerous for you to have Judas just lurking in your camp because you're comfortable because of the amount of time that you've invested with these people over the years. And I hate to tell you, Judas doesn't just come along at the end of a 25-year friendship. Judas was always there, lurking. Judas doesn't just happen at the end of a 10-year friendship. Judas was always there. It never was what you thought it was. And that's hurtful, I know. But I want you to be encouraged to know that your tribe, your people, some of you haven't even met them yet. They're out there. And you cannot, God, the Creator, will not bless you, honestly, while you're still connected to certain undeserving people. So, gotta go through this again with you. Gotta go through the 10 indications of a Judas spirit in your camp. Ooh, woo-cha. The boy's gone. His dad just came and got him. Okay. So we're gonna go over the 10 things one more time. 10 indications of a Judas spirit in your camp. Okay. Number 1, the way you catch them looking at you. Believe it. They don't like you. Number 2, when you tell them good news, the way they react, and then as a matter of fact, they even get annoyed after hearing your good news. Number 3, when you tell them something you did, and the next time you see them or speak with them, they've done the same exact thing, even when they had no prior interest in the said thing. Number 4, your goals become their goals. They're now interested in fulfilling goals that you told them, that you shared with them, even though they had no prior interest before. Number 5, they call you and randomly question you about your personal romantic relationships. Okay, relationship. Okay, they do this, right? When talking about when you're talking about your relationships with them, they say shady things like, well, nobody, when you refer to somebody as your man or your boyfriend or your fiance, they come back with, well, nobody belongs to anybody. Under the guise of spirituality, they're making it okay. And they're validating their disloyal, distrustful, hateful, and weird and creepy behavior toward you. They're validating it with spirituality. Okay. Number 7, they're deeply insecure. Number 8, they're deeply unhappy people, unhappy with themselves, unhappy with their lives. And number 10, they keep you at bay as if you're the one who can't be trusted, when in reality it is them who cannot be trusted. But due to the fear of being found out and the fear of you retaliating against them. They have to keep you at bay to keep their lives safe from you because of all of the hell and havoc they have secretly reaped in your life. And number 10, they take your vision, dismantle it, and go and recreate it somewhere else with other people, and they don't include you. These are only 10, there are more. But these are only 10 indications of a Judas spirit in your camp. And it's important, family, again, chosen ones, rising phoenix, empath, tribe, that we listen and that we see the big picture and that we trust our all-knowing and that we trust our intuition, that we trust the God within us screaming and telling us that this person is not it. Okay? I also further want to encourage you, if you were not that girl, if you were not that boy, people wouldn't dislike you for no reason. If you were not chosen, if you were not meant to do great things that will impact the world in a great way, you wouldn't have so many naysayers. You wouldn't have so many haters. Let me tell you something. A girl or a dude with no haters is not that girl or guy. You are that girl. Okay? You are that girl. You are that dude. You are that guy. My guy. You are him. You are her. You are that girl. And I want you to be encouraged. I want you to find your tribe. I want you to use your intuition and your spiritual gifts that you have. There's so many. I want you to use your gifts. And I want you to be led in who you allow in those sacred spaces and places in your life. Because if you're not careful, having the wrong people in your life could cost you your life. I love you guys. I love you, chosen ones. I love you, Rising Phoenix Empath Tribe. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe channel. I love to have you a part of the RPE tribe, chosen ones. And please hit that notification bell so that you can get a notification when I get a new video out. I want you to like the videos, share the videos, dialogue with me in the comments. I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love you guys. I hope you're having a good day. Happy Lionsgate opening to you all, and happy birthday to me. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.